the adrenaline-fueled world of street outlaws. No Prep Kings is known for its high-stakes racing, intense rivalries, and passionate personalities. Among the fan favorites, AZN stands out as a charismatic and skilled racer who has won the hearts of millions with his humor and determination. However, behind the scenes of the roaring engines and thrilling drag races lies a heartbreaking tragedy that has deeply impacted AZN's life. That's why we say no one has it all. Let's learn about his life. Jeff Bonnet's love for cars is rooted in a profound connection with his late father, Dennis, a Vietnam War veteran whose values and passions left a lasting imprint on his son. Dennis was more than just a father to Jeff. He was a mentor, a role model, and the person who introduced him to the art of working with machines. Through countless hours spent together in the garage, Dennis instilled in Jeff a respect for the mechanical ingenuity of automobiles and the satisfaction of transforming raw materials into something powerful and purposeful. One of the pivotal moments in Jeff's life was tied to a modest yet life-changing acquisition, a 1964 Chevy Nova. The car was far from pristine. It was beat up and rough around the edges. But to Jeff, it represented the beginning of something extraordinary. The Chevy Nova wasn't just a vehicle. It was a dream on wheels, a canvas for his growing passion for cars and racing. At the time, Jeff was still in high school, with no steady source of income to finance the purchase of the car. Seeing his son's enthusiasm and recognizing the potential life lesson in the situation, Dennis stepped in, not as a benefactor, but as a lender. He offered to lend Jeff the $1,280 needed to buy the car, under one strict condition: Jeff had to pay back every penny. It was a challenge that would test Jeff's creativity, work ethic, and determination. Without hesitation, Jeff accepted the terms, understanding that this wasn't just about acquiring a car, it was about proving himself. The loan was more than a financial transaction. It was a father's way of teaching his son responsibility, discipline, and the value of hard work. Driven by the desire to honor his father's faith in him and the sheer excitement of owning the Nova, Jeff got to work. With limited options available to a high school student, Jeff had to think outside the box. He noticed an opportunity in his neighborhood. Many houses didn't have clearly visible numbers on their curbs, which could make it challenging for emergency responders to locate them quickly in the event of an emergency. Jeff pitched the idea of painting house numbers on curbs to his neighbors, emphasizing the practical benefits and safety implications of his service. Armed with paint, stencils, and determination, Jeff began knocking on doors, offering his services for a modest fee. His pitch was simple but effective, and his neighbors appreciated his entrepreneurial spirit and the usefulness of his work. The money he earned from this curb painting venture went straight toward repaying the loan from his father. Over time, Jeff not only fulfilled his financial obligation, but also gained a sense of accomplishment and a deeper appreciation for the values his father had imparted to him. However, it was his next car choice that truly highlighted his unique and daring approach to the sport, a 1970 Volkswagen Beetle, affectionately dubbed the Dung Beetle. The Dung Beetle was a quirky, unlikely contender in the world of street racing, where muscle cars and high-performance vehicles often ruled the scene. The Beetle, with its small frame and modest engine, was far from a typical racing machine. But for AZN, this choice was a testament to his refusal to follow the mainstream. The Dung Beetle became an emblem of AZN's unconventional mindset, a symbol that he was willing to take risks, break norms, and challenge expectations in a sport that often rewards precision and power above all else. This unexpected vehicle quickly became his personal statement in the racing community, turning heads and making a lasting impression. It was this fearless, offbeat mentality that eventually led AZN to cross paths with another street racing legend, Shaun Whitley, better known as Farm Truck. Shaun was a seasoned racer with a reputation that stretched far beyond Oklahoma City, where the two met. At the time, AZN was still cutting his teeth in the street racing world, And although he had the passion and determination, he lacked the experience that someone like Farm Truck had honed over years of racing. In the early days of their rivalry, Farm Truck had the upper hand, easily outmatching AZN on the street. But instead of being discouraged, AZN saw an opportunity for growth. His fearless nature and unique style piqued Sean's interest, and despite the obvious difference in their racing experience, the two formed an unexpected bond. The bond between Jeff Bonnet, known as AZN, and Sean Whitley, better known as Farm Truck, is one of those rare friendships that defies easy explanation. While their partnership was built on a shared love of racing, there were deeper, more personal factors at play that drew the two men together. Some who knew them speculated that Jeff, in particular, had been in search of a father figure in his life, someone to provide guidance and stability after a series of devastating personal losses. Though the racing world would come to know AZN and Farm Truck as a dynamic duo, their connection was forged through more than just a shared passion for speed. It was built on the painful yet resilient foundation of Jeff's tumultuous upbringing. Jeff's childhood was marred by hardship and loss. His mother's death from cancer when he was just a teenager left an indelible mark on him. The pain of losing a parent at such a young age is something that few can truly understand, and for Jeff it was the beginning of a difficult road. The grief of losing his mother was compounded by the untimely death of his father, Dennis, in 2001. Dennis's passing, caused by a heart condition, was another major blow to Jeff and his family, leaving him and his sister Brenda orphaned in a world that seemed increasingly uncertain. This double tragedy left a void in Jeff's life, a hole that could never truly be filled. Yet, despite these crushing losses, Jeff refused to let grief consume him. Instead of succumbing to the pain of losing his parents, he channeled his energy into his dreams and passions, refusing to let his circumstances define him. For many, the loss of both parents might have been enough to send them down a dark path, but Jeff's resilience and determination set him apart. He threw himself into the world of street racing, a high-adrenaline world that allowed him to escape, even if for just a moment, from the harsh reality of his life. It's easy to see how street racing became an outlet for Jeff's grief and a way to keep his father's memory alive. Racing was something that his father had loved, and in a way, it was as if Jeff was honoring him by pursuing this passion. Racing became more than just a sport for Jeff. It became a means of connection to the family he had lost, a way to cope with his sorrow and pain. His relentless drive to improve, to take on the toughest competitors, and to prove himself in the world of street racing was fueled not only by his love for speed, but also by the desire to make something of himself after everything he had been through. This deep personal motivation, coupled with his unyielding determination, led Jeff to cross paths with Farm Truck, an experienced racer from Oklahoma City. While AZN was still relatively new to the world of street racing, his passion and unique personality quickly caught the attention of Sean. For Farm Truck, who had already made a name for himself in the racing community, the chance to mentor and partner with someone like Jeff was an opportunity to pass on his knowledge and experience to someone who genuinely appreciated the sport. But beyond the racing, their connection seemed to transcend mere competition. Some believed that what really solidified their bond was the fact that Jeff was searching for a role model, a figure who could help guide him through life's challenges. Farm Truck became that figure for Jeff, someone who, through their shared love of racing, provided not just advice on the track but also support in life. Over time, the relationship between AZN and Farm Truck evolved from one of mentor and mentee to that of close friends and partners, united by more than just the rush of racing, but also by the trials they had both faced in their respective lives. Their friendship was founded on a mutual respect that went beyond the racetrack, and in many ways it was a healing process for Jeff, a way to fill the void left by the loss of his father. Farm Truck's presence was a steadying force for Jeff, someone who provided the kind of support and guidance that he had been missing. As AZN and farm trucks' partnership deepened, they began to make a name for themselves within the street racing scene of Oklahoma City. Their camaraderie, paired with their distinctive vehicles, made them a unique duo in a world full of fierce competition. Farm Truck's iconic 1970 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck became the symbol of their partnership, a vehicle that was instantly recognizable and synonymous with the duo's style of racing. The truck itself was a reflection of their personalities, rough, unpolished, and ready to take on anything that came its way. It was a perfect match for AZN's bold, fearless approach to racing and Farm Truck's steady, experienced hand at the wheel. In 2013, Jeff Bonnet and his partner Sean Whitley made their debut on the wildly popular reality TV show Street Outlaws. The duo became an iconic part of the 405 crew, a group of talented street racers based out of Oklahoma City who would later be featured on the show. From the very beginning, AZN and Farm Truck stood out, not just for their skills on the street, but for their distinct personalities and memorable presence. Their journey on Street Outlaws helped them become household names, cementing their place as fan favorites in the world of street racing. One of the first things fans noticed about AZN and Farm Truck was their down-to-earth demeanor. The show wasn't just about racing, it was about the characters behind the wheel, and AZN and Farm Truck provided plenty of personality. Whether they were cracking jokes, pulling pranks, or simply enjoying the camaraderie of their fellow racers, their humor was infectious. In one of their earliest appearances, fans saw the two of them sporting hoodies emblazoned with 405 on them, a reference to the area code of Oklahoma City. This symbol quickly became synonymous with the Street Outlaws crew, representing the community of racers that called the streets of Oklahoma home. While their humor and personalities helped make them fan favorites, it was their formidable racing skills that truly set them apart. AZN, in particular, brought a unique energy to the show. Despite his unconventional racing background, including the famous dung beetle and his early days spent racing on the streets of Oklahoma City, AZN proved to be a serious competitor. His infectious energy, combined with a quick wit and undeniable skill behind the wheel, made him an indispensable member of the 405 crew. Over time, AZN transitioned from an unknown racer to a household name, his popularity rising alongside the success of Street Outlaws. AZN's racing career was far from an overnight success. The Oklahoma City streets were where he truly honed his craft, spending countless nights pushing his car and himself to the limit. It was here, on those challenging streets, that AZN earned his nickname. AZN was a playful jab at his mixed heritage, acknowledging his Asian and Caucasian roots, and it became a defining part of his identity in the racing community. This moniker stuck, and AZN embraced it as part of his persona, using it to further connect with the diverse audience of Street Outlaws fans who appreciated his authenticity. However, the early days of AZN's racing career were not without hardship. Street racing, especially in the underground world that AZN was part of, is notoriously unforgiving. For every victory, there were numerous defeats, and many of these losses were tough to swallow. Racing on the streets meant risking it all, your reputation, your car, and sometimes even your safety. AZN faced numerous setbacks, but rather than allowing these challenges to discourage him, he used them as fuel to get better. Each defeat only made him more determined to improve, pushing him to refine his driving skills and find new ways to succeed. These early struggles were formative in shaping AZN's character and his approach to racing. It wasn't just about winning for him, it was about resilience and the drive to overcome adversity. While AZN has been fortunate enough to avoid major accidents during his time on Street Outlaws, there was one memorable incident that showcased just how unpredictable the world of high-performance automotive events can be. The mishap occurred in 2018 at the renowned Summernats Festival in Canberra, Australia, an annual event famous for its high-octane atmosphere and a variety of thrilling automotive competitions. This festival, a mecca for car enthusiasts, features everything from burnout competitions to show and shine contests, drawing participants and spectators from around the globe. It was the perfect stage for AZN and Farm Truck to showcase their skills and make their mark internationally. Farm Truck's iconic 1970 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck, a vehicle known for its ruggedness and capability on the drag strip, was the center of attention during a burnout competition. Burnout competitions are a crowd favorite, where drivers rev their engines and spin their wheels to produce massive clouds of tire smoke, captivating the audience with a mix of noise, power, and spectacle. AZN and Farm Truck were eager to represent the 405 crew and impress the Australian crowd with their unique style and flair. However, what was supposed to be a crowd-pleasing performance took an unexpected and dramatic turn. As Farm Truck's car roared onto the track, both AZN and Sean Whitley, Farm Truck, were in the vehicle, ready to deliver an unforgettable show. The engine revved, the tires screamed, and the smoke began to billow. But just as the performance was gaining momentum, a sudden and severe mechanical failure brought everything to a halt. The exact details of the malfunction are a testament to the inherent unpredictability of high-stress automotive events. As the car pushed the limits of its mechanical capabilities, something went awry, causing the vehicle to surge uncontrollably. The powerful machine, instead of staying in its designated area, veered off course and crashed into one of the barriers lining the track. The sound of metal meeting metal echoed through the venue, followed by a stunned silence from the crowd. For a moment, the air was thick with tension as onlookers waited to see if AZN and Farm Truck were unharmed. Thankfully, despite the dramatic nature of the crash, both Jeff and Sean emerged from the vehicle without a scratch. Their safety was a relief to everyone present, proving that even in such high-risk situations, their commitment to proper safety measures paid off. The incident left Farm Truck's vehicle with some significant damage, but in true AZN and Farm Truck fashion, they took the mishap in stride. Their trademark humor and camaraderie shone through as they turned the incident into a memorable story to share with fans. The crash became one of the highlights of their time at Summernats, not because of the damage it caused, but because of the resilience and good humor they displayed in its aftermath. Today, Jeff Bonnet remains a cornerstone of the Street Outlaws family. His role on the show goes beyond just being a racer. He's a steadfast supporter of his longtime friend and racing partner, Sean Farm Truck Whitley, and an enduring source of positivity for the entire cast and crew. Whether he's cracking jokes, strategizing on the sidelines, or engaging with fans, AZN's vibrant energy and charismatic personality have made him a fan favorite. His unique presence continues to breathe life into the series, helping maintain its appeal to audiences worldwide. Despite his fame and the spotlight that comes with being part of a hit TV series, AZN has managed to maintain an air of mystery about his personal life. Unlike many of his Street Outlaws peers, who occasionally share glimpses of their relationships and family lives, AZN has chosen to keep his private life under wraps. This discretion has fueled rumors and speculation among fans, who are curious about the man behind the racer. One persistent rumor revolves around a woman named Lisa Lacey, who has been linked to AZN in various whispers across fan circles. Social media posts have occasionally hinted at a connection between the two, but the details remain elusive. Is Lisa Lacey a romantic partner, a close friend, or simply a name that has been drawn into the limelight by overzealous speculation? The truth remains unclear, and AZN has not offered any confirmation or denial, leaving fans to wonder. This secrecy may well be intentional. For someone as high-profile as AZN, keeping certain aspects of his life away from the public eye allows him to maintain a sense of normalcy. The demands of reality television and the intense scrutiny of fans can be overwhelming, and many public figures choose to protect their personal lives as a way to preserve their mental well-being and sense of self. By keeping his relationships private, AZN ensures that his identity outside of the show remains his own. It's also possible that AZN's reluctance to discuss his personal life is tied to his grounded nature. Despite his fame, he has always come across as a humble, down-to-earth individual who values relationships and experiences over material success or public validation. His focus has always been on his love for racing, his bond with Farm Truck, and his connection to the Street Outlaws community. This prioritization of authenticity over spectacle is one of the reasons why fans continue to admire him. AZN's decision to remain tight-lipped about his relationship status hasn't diminished his popularity. If anything, it's added to his mystique. Fans appreciate him for the personality he brings to the show, the camaraderie he shares with his fellow racers, and the genuine enthusiasm he exudes for the sport. Whether he's on the track or engaging with viewers off-screen, AZN continues to be a figure who resonates deeply with audiences. Social media occasionally provides tantalizing glimpses into AZN's life, but they often raise more questions than they answer. Whether it's a cryptic post, a picture with friends, or a casual mention of his off-screen activities, AZN manages to keep fans intrigued without revealing too much. It's a delicate balance, but one that he navigates skillfully. Ultimately, AZN's choice to separate his personal life from his public persona speaks to his integrity and self-awareness. In an industry where personal lives are often put on full display, AZN's decision to keep certain things private is both refreshing and commendable. It allows fans to focus on what truly matters: his contributions to Street Outlaws, his passion for racing, and the joy he brings to the community that surrounds him. What do you think about AZN's life? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.